With brotherhood, from sea to shining sea to shining sea, from sea to
The United States won its independence from England in the Revolutionary War. But by 1812, we were back at war with England again. English ships had been interfering with American trade, and we had to make it plain that we were a free and independent nation and must be treated as such. The war continued for 2 years. In September of 1814, the English troops, being forced back from Washington, captured a well-known doctor, William Barnes. They held him on board an English ship at Fort McHenry in Maryland. The government asked a young lawyer, Francis Scott Key, and a colonel, J.S. Skinner, to negotiate with the British for the release of Dr. Barnes. On September 12, 1814, the two men traveled down Chesapeake Bay and were permitted to see the English Admiral Cockburn on board an English ship. Admiral Cockburn agreed to free Dr. Barnes, but because his ship was preparing a bombardment of Fort McHenry, it was necessary for all three Americans to remain on board all night. Francis Scott Key stayed on the deck of the English ship all night long, watching the battle rage. He hoped and prayed that the fort would not be taken. By the dawn's early light, he saw the American flag still flying proudly over the fort. He immediately began to write the words of the Star-Spangled Banner. During the night, he had heard the English officers and men celebrating what they thought was a victory by singing a song called To Anacreon in Heaven. This was a popular English song, the melody of which had been composed by John Stafford Smith. Now, the words Mr. Key wrote fitted this melody. Thus, as is so often the case with national anthems, more than one country contributes to the final song. So, the Star-Spangled Banner, like God Save the King and many others, might be called an international anthem. It was over 100 years later, on March 3rd, 1931, that Congress officially made the Star-Spangled Banner our American national anthem. God Save the Queen. Probably the most truly international melody of them all is God Save the Queen. We know it as America, or My Country 'Tis of Thee. In Germany, it is called Heil der im Siegerkranz.